Hi there, all-powerful Nate Boy, god of holy wrath and bullshit. You may also recognize me as Drunk Luigi from the GeekParty.com video at Convergence. Hi. So tonight we are drinking Jack Daniels because the Jack Daniels lawyers sent the most fantastically kind and generous cease and desist letter to a small-time author. Check it out online. I'm sure you can find it on the Googles, whatever. But yeah, no, Jack Daniels, what we're drinking. Smooth. So, for the purposes of this rant, I want you all to keep in mind that I'm going to be directly addressing Joe the Peacock. For those of you who don't know who that is, a quick summary. Joe the Peacock is a dude that has interesting things happen to him, and then he talked about those interesting things on a website. Then he wrote a book about them, and now he's internet famous. I also understand that Joe the Peacock has apologized, note the dick quotes, for all the shit that he wrote and said. But since his apology can be fairly summed up as, you just misunderstood me, and really, it's just like my opinion, man. And besides, the people on the internet agree with me. I'm pretty comfortable saying that everything I'm about to say is as true now as it was when I wrote it on Wednesday night. So, Joe the Peacock, start licking my shit launcher. No. Seriously. You are seriously and clearly put on this earth to give me a rim job, and that is what I want you to do. I am the great goddamn Cornholio, and the TP is your tongue. In fact, from this moment here on out, I'm going to imagine you are, in fact, giving me a rim job, and I'm going to speak to you accordingly. Yes, I know you're some 300 pounds of ex-football player who lifts weights and such, but I'm okay with that. I'm still manly enough to consider myself straight with your tongue in my second filthiest orifice, as long as you don't care. Whatever. Now that you're power washing my tunnel of hate, let me explain to you how we got to this point. You recently wrote an article for CNN.com editorial entitled Booth Babes Need Not Apply. You already know that, Joe the Peacock. I'm saying that for the people who are not currently licking my shit launcher. In this article, you begin to proclaim how, well, here, since your tongue is currently occupied, I'll quote your words for you. There is a growing chorus of frustration in the geek community with, and there's no other way to put this, pretty girls pretending to be geeks for attention. The fuck? You have a problem with pretty girls pretending to be interested in things in which you are interested? No, don't answer that. Your tongue is busy right now. Besides, you go on to say that it's a problem because there's this slew of pretty girls pretending to be geeks just to get attention. So don't give it to them? I don't know. I mean, I hear this and my response is, so? I mean, an attractive woman proceeds to pretend she likes what I like and proceeds to listen to me talk about what I like, and I'm sure this is a problem somehow, but wait. No, it's not a problem! However, you go on in your article to say that you are specifically talking about girls with no interest in the hobby, taking nearly naked pictures of themselves with geeky symbols in an attempt to model. Once again, I'm sure this is a problem somehow, but I can't hear your reasons why over the sound of my masturbating. But let's leave aside my own apparently really strange enjoyment of attractive women posting pictures of themselves half naked with things that meet my criteria for fun, and also geeky symbols. Let us instead get to the reason you are currently using your tongue like a lure for my digested lunch. See, here's the problem, Joe the Peacock. You have decided, apparently, that it is your right and privilege to sit upon the grand high throne of geekdom and declare what does and does not meet your criteria. And listen, mother shit fucker, you do not get to sit there and now say, oh, well, that's just my opinion. Fuck you! You wrote a CNN.com edit-fucking-torial. That means that you thought your opinion was important enough for CNN fucking com to put up on the intertubes for all to fucking see. Ah, shit. That woman over there, she's okay. She's interested enough to meet my nebulous Peacock standards, TM, and thus may be allowed to be here. That woman over there, though, she does not meet my standards and is just, and again, let me use your own words here, an attention addict trying to satisfy her ego and feel pretty by infiltrating a community to seek the attention of guys she wouldn't give the time of day to on the streets. Did it ever occur to you, Joe the Peacock, that you're being a sexist fucking prick monkey? I'm sorry. That was mean of me. That question was rhetorical. You obviously cannot answer with your tongue so far up my divine colon that you'll be finding religion at any moment now. I will answer for you. No, of course it did not occur to you. It didn't occur to you because you feel entitled. And entertainingly, I don't think that you feel entitled to what a woman has between her legs. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe the chorus of frustration is in fact based on the premise of she won't sleep with me, she must not really be interested in geek culture. If that is your criteria, then you are hereby banned from ever licking my ass again, because my wrathful starfish is not for the likes of pond scum such as yourself. However, I don't think that's the case. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here, which is why I'm currently consenting to allow your tongue within my wondrous sphincter. I think it's that you feel entitled to geek culture. You feel, much like I do, that being a geek when we were young was a very hard thing. We stuck out like sore thumbs. No one liked what we liked. We were strange and weird, ostracized for what we enjoyed. Now, people who are clearly not like us just slap on some geeky culture symbol and become part of our crowd. They have never felt the pain of being laughed at for liking something strange. They never felt the pain of being told that what we liked was stupid. They never felt the pain of having our asses kicked because we didn't like football. Wait, maybe you did. You're an ex-football player. They never felt that pain. We did. And I say we here. Note that. Keep that in mind, motherfucker. Here's the thing, Joe the Peacock. Remember way back when we would sit in our little geek hole and enjoy our geeky thing with our 1 or 4 friends that actually enjoyed what we liked and wished that what we liked was mainstream? I know that we liked to pretend that what that meant was that we would be seen as important, as equal, that somehow, instead of being ostracized as losers, people would suddenly think that we were important, or at least likable. Maybe they would ask us our opinion on shit. Maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't get our asses kicked because we didn't want to go to the football game that Friday night. Maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have coaches yelling at us hours on end because, oh my fucking god, we don't happen to like basketball. Problem is, fuckers like you gotta go and stick your dick in the mashed potatoes. All like, oh yeah, mashed potatoes, ah! Because that is what mainstream looks like. The very thing you're bitching about. People with no interest in it use it as a sales tactic. People who couldn't care less attempt to use it as a way to grab our attention, draw us in, get us to buy what they're selling. That is mainstream. But maybe you didn't want that. Maybe what you wanted was the culture to stay small and insular. Maybe you don't want it getting bigger and better. Well, that's fine. But in that case, fuck you. Because by attempting to declare from on high who is and is not a geek, and once again, no, you don't get to go, oh, I'm just a guy with an opinion, CNN.com! They're a fucking for certain definitions of the word respected, they are a fucking respected news source. You don't get to write an editorial for them and claim that it was just your opinion. Because CNN.com. You are adding the legitimacy of the source to your words. That is how journalism fucking works. Journalism, learn you some. By attempting to declare from on high who is and is not a geek, you are causing the ruination of the very thing that I love. Posers are not what ruins a hobby, Joe the Peacock. You know what ruins the hobby? Dumb fuck, hypocritical shit stains who sit there and try to tell people why they do or do not belong. But all-powerful one, I can hear you say, well, not you, Joe the Peacock, because you're busy tonguing the god of bullshit's delivery bay, but the people who are not you that are listening to this. But all-powerful one, as you always think of me when you think of me, why do you say hypocrite? Well, people who are not busy with their tongue in the only hole of mine with an off switch, I'm glad you asked. See, I did a little research on Joe the Peacock. And by research, I mean I clicked on one of the links CNN.com presented me to his blog, and I proceeded to read that post and nothing else. In said post, he talked about a conversation he had with a 14-year-old kid that he and his weightlifting buddies had adopted at the gym because he was a 14-year-old kid at the gym who wanted to lift weights like the muscle-bound guys. And unlike Joe the Peacock, I did not go, oh my god, he's lifting weights. He does not meet my standard of geekhood and is therefore a poser. He is clearly trying to take advantage of me. He just wants my money and is not interested in geek culture. Why, I bet he likes football too. No! Who would have guessed? I simply took his story at face value, presuming that Joe the Peacock was a fellow geek because he said he liked geeky stuff. His story claimed that the kid was feeling down because some girl had called him weird and a freak. Since I want Joe the Peacock to speak for himself, but clearly his tongue is busy, I'll once again use his words. Everyone you know looks the same and acts the same, I explained. They may dress differently from each other or belong to different crowds, but they're all the same. Hipsters, brainiacs, jocks, so-called geeks. There are dick quotes around that. There you fucking are being a fucking elitist, you fucking... I'm better now. They're all so caught up with not being left out that they're changing who they are to fit in with whoever it is that will accept them. When you show up and you're not like that, it scares them, I continued. They don't know what to do with you because they have no idea what it's like to think for themselves. So they try to make you feel like a loser because there's more of them doing what they're doing than there are of you. In such a small group of small minds, the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. Irony, motherfucker! Do you speak it? These people don't meet your definition of normal, thus they must be made to feel like a loser, apparently. Beyond that, maybe these women have no interest in history or culture because they don't know. They know geek culture as far as Batman equals geeky because that's all they've learned. Maybe these women are trying to feel themselves out, dip a toe in the culture that they like, but have up until this point been told is weird. Maybe these women were just coming along with some friends and don't really know much now, but may be interested in learning. Well, would have been interested in learning if hypocritical ass flickers like you weren't busy yelling about them damn attention whores fucking up your cons. Don't stop tonguing, oh worshiper at my back door. I'm not done with you yet. What you have done, Joe the Peacock, is completely and utterly sexually objectify these women, and in the purest sense of the words. You have taken away their agency, decided that they do not know what they want, but instead you, with all your wisdom and all your geeky knowledge, you know what they want. You have decided decided in your omniscient knowledge of all that is and is not geek that these women are not there because they want to enjoy the geeky atmosphere, but they want to somehow take advantage of you. You have decided this based on talking to a few of them. Yeah, that sounds like a great fucking sample size. Apparently, amongst your omniscient geeky fucking knowledge, you are also a fucking omniscient fucking statistician. They're trying to take advantage of you with their hotness, thus boiling them down to being no more than their physical appearance. Hotness, by the way, that you then go on to say isn't all that hot, which is so fucking ironic that the platonic ideal of irony is looking at it going, well, fuck. My job here is done. The problem with this Joe the Peacock is that where does it end? I go to Convergence. I don't attend most of the panels, unless I'm on them. I go there to hit people with foam swords, drink more than mortal men like you can fathom, and to walk around in spandex and act like I'm important. I can't name 10 DC heroes, and on the off chance I surprised myself and pulled it off, I couldn't tell you what books they came from. But somehow, I am not a poacher, a pox upon our culture, an attention addict trying to satisfy my ego. Well, okay, I'm totally an attention addict trying to satisfy my ego, but still, no one demands my geek cred. No one walks up to me and says, hey you, drunk guy in a Luigi hat, I demand that you prove to me that you're a geek because I don't think you are. No one writes editorials about drunk guys in Luigi hats being a poser. Yet these women are all those things because you have declared them to be so, based on nothing but the fact that they're pretty but not interested enough in geeky things by your standards. And again, you cannot rely on that's just my opinion because CNN.com. That is a news organization. This is not your personal blog. News organization. What's more, you're a quasi-public figure, Joe the Peacock. What you say holds more weight. It shouldn't. It's unfair, but it's true. What you say holds more weight than what any random guy at a convention says because more people listen to you. And you have objectified these women worse than the dumb fuckers on Xbox Live sending messages with their ASCII dicks. Because at least those fucks are honest about it. You, however, like to pretend you're really on the side of women, just, the good ones. The ones that are geeky the way you like it. And those women, that you're insulting, well, they aren't. With the added bit of sexism about, how in the real world they'd only be slightly prettier than average, but to a bunch of geek guys, they're suddenly totally hot. Ever hear of projection? This is why I have you chimney sweeping my poop chute. Because just like you have declared from your geeky throne that these women are not geeks no matter what they proclaim, I have declared your tongue to be upon this earth for reupholstering my divine seat. It does not matter what you think your tongue is for. It does not matter that you believe your tongue is there for telling stories. I, who also makes a living with his tongue and his stories, have declared it otherwise. Your opinion on your purpose and your worth is utterly dismissible because I have decided what you exist for, and there is no chance of you ever changing. How's it feel, Joe the Peacock? Because this is what the women you have labeled not a geek and only here to get attention hear every time you open your big fat fuck mouth. They hear you telling them that they're here for sex. Or in this case, the rim job. And you don't get that. That's why one of us is the god of holy wrath and bullshit, and one of us is busy licking my asshole. Until next time, the all-powerful Nate Boy saying, if I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell.